Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike here at Gamefromscratch, and today we are talking about one of my favorite underdog game engines out there, and this one is Flax. I look at Flax as kind of like indie Unreal Engine. It's got a lot of similar vibes to Unreal Engine, blueprints like programming layer, live C++ coding, etc., but it is obviously a much more simple program. It's also like a 10th or 100th of the size, and here you can see this is Flax in action. The reason why we're talking about today is, well, this. 1.12 was just released. Technically, it was released on Monday, but I'm in a Commonwealth country, so that was a holiday to honor the Queen. So today, we are going to be checking out Flax Editor 1.12, and what is new with this? Well, let's go ahead and see it in action. So notice how fast it compiled. That is pretty awesome. By the way, this is Kenny's free game demo. It's been compiled and built over. Gives you an idea of how things work and how fast it builds. It's one of those things that's definitely different from Unreal Engine in that regard. So this one, again, as I mentioned earlier on, you can use C++ as your programming language. So here you can see this guy, this vehicle, I can select, let me go back over to editor mode. This vehicle, I can select over here. You're going to notice it has a number of things attached to it. For example, this has a vehicle attached to it and a rigid body, etc. Well, vehicle is just a script of type C++. So you see here, vehicle.cpp. Let's go ahead and load that one up. So you can see what it looks like over here. So there is the simple code and logic to control running this guy around the game world. As you can see, it's traditional callbacks. So on update, it's going to be called every frame. You do your game logic there. Now, if you do not want to do C++ programming, though, do not worry, because you could also do it in C. Cool thing here is what you're going to notice, all of these things here, so model, body, wheels, etc., they're being marked as API fields, and the value is being set over there. Well, over here you can see various different options available there. But again, C++ isn't your only option. You can also write these things C#. So you got a number of different options there. You can also make game engine plugins and so on. And again, there is also a visual scripting language. Visual scripting language actually got a lot of love in this release as well. So we got a couple of other things to point out in Flax 1.12. Some of these things are kind of small but cool. For example, here, you will notice you now have these nav tools to go ahead and show you the various different axes that are available. And then if you go ahead and move it off, you'll see it automatically rotates down accordingly. So you got quick snapping of the various different directions that are available. Unfortunately, I don't think you can do a free rotation, so you got to do that the traditional way if you wish to do so. So that is one of the new features here. Another thing that they've added in this particular release, I'm not going to show you it because I don't have all the prerequisites installed, but this right here, there is now web platform builds. Now, there's a reason why this particular demo is showing C++ right now. The mscripten backend is the only way to make this work. So your C# does not work. You have to use C++ for the web target for now. But while we're here, you may notice something. PlayStation 5, Xbox, iOS, Mac OS, Linux, various different Microsoft platforms, Android, etc. You can build for all kinds of consoles and platforms using this one. And again, a big addition here, it's experimental at this point in time, is that 1.12 version has WebGPU built, which is pretty nice. There's a couple of other things going on in this particular release as well. For example, here, I'm going to go to Post Effects, and then we're going to scroll on down here, and we are going to find Global Illumination. Well, this DDGI, it's a real-time ray trace global illumination option that is now considered ready for production. You can control the results of it over here, so how intense the global illumination is, how many rays, bounces, and so on. And of course, you can turn that off because it probably DDGI does not make sense on this cartoony style as an example, but that real-time global illumination is now enabled in this release. So, a wonderful little release. Another thing that they've done with this one is on this side, an area that's got a lot of new changes is here. Let me go here. I can't create it there. Sorry, I was in the scripting section. Let's go over here into the content section right here, go root of content, and you're going to notice here, new, and then there is this visual scripting language here. You use this for animations, for various different little pieces here. You can also use it for game logic. You can use this just like Blueprint. We can also use it for like animation, trees, states, that kind of stuff. Let's go ahead. We'll create a new actor. And then, boom, there is our new script, which I called scripting, which makes no sense. But what they've done here is they've really upped the way this works. So there's new drag and drop options for pins. So we got here, this is all new in the way that it's been set up. So it's cleaner, redesigned with basically how the entire visual scripting system goes. They've got their own name for it. I'll get back to that when we head on over to the release note side of things. But a lot of updates around the way that pinning works, so quick snapping on pinning, a redesign on the visual look, so it's a lot cleaner to look at. So if you want to script things with a visual language, that is an option there as well. And it's actually not that terrible to work with. Like, I remember Godot had a visual scripting language, but it was just like a lot of work. In this case, they actually did a pretty solid job of it. So if you want to go and check out Flax, go to flaxengine.com like this. You're going to notice it is available for several different platforms, so you can get the editor tools available for Linux, for Mac, as well as Windows. There are a number of samples. There's also some guides on moving over from other game engines. In terms of features, there are a ton. Again, I think like the nicest way to think of Flax is it's very much like a lightweight underdog version of the Unity game engine. Unity is the most similar approach, again, because you've got things like C++ scripting, but of course you also do have C#. You've got a number of different platforms being supported, including all those various different consoles. You have support for large worlds, which is like 64-bit precision, which can make incredibly large worlds. And then you got things like cloth sims, world editing tools for creating terrain, foliage, and so on. Animation tools are in there. It is, again, like Unreal Engine, source available. So this isn't open source like Godot. This is source available like Default or Unreal Engine, and so on. More like Unreal Engine, because this is also a commercial game engine. Something to definitely be aware of. But you only pay if you make money, and you only pay if you've made over $250,000 in the quarter. So 3 months time, if you make over 250K, you need to pay a 4% royalty. Very liberal in my opinion. All the source code is available. There are samples, etc., to get you up and running. In terms of the 1.12 release that we were just talking about here, they've got a couple things going on. Cool thing is they do have a game up on Steam, so it's nice to see a shipped title with this engine. More and more success like that is always a lovely thing. Big thing we've got here now is web support, so you can build. There is a WebGPU backend for doing the drawing. You can export your games out, host them online. Again, there are some limitations at this point in time in that, again, right now it only works with the C++ coding script. So right now C# is not yet supported. We also have a couple of other new features here. We've got Springbone physics. So you can see it in fact on like there. That guy is on a springbone right there. This is often normally called jiggle physics. I don't know why you would call this jiggle physics or what you would ever want to jiggle, but yeah, that's an option. So here you can see, again, you can use their visual setup for doing animation things here, and we got this new springbone in there as well. The graph editor got an overhaul, so again, it's just more visible, improved readability of the graphs. We've got a bunch of new functionality for how they work, so auto resizing based on their content, slight shadow, outline thickness was increased, and so on. Then you've got selected nodes can be focused, pressing Shift F5, something like that. So just quality of life improvements for the visual scripting side of things. We've got multi-channel sign distance field fonts coming to Flax. These are like just cleaner, so you can see right there. The cool thing about sign distance field, it's like vector graphics. You can kind of infinitely scale them up, and they never lose their crisp edging. DDGI is now considered production ready. Once again, that is their dynamic diffuse global illumination. It results in faster and improved ray trace real-time global illumination. So it is now considered production ready. They've also had some improvements there. So their graphics demo suite now runs at 150 frames per second at 4K on an RTX 2080 without upscaling. That's pretty impressive. We also have that new direction gizmo in place right there. They have game mode. So here, G, get rid of all of the grids and the things, basically pretty mode. Then we got SDL platform back end, so it's an abstraction layer there. They added an option to compile the engine with SDL3 to handle inputs and window management. Tree view in content window now features a more compact tree view. Box projection on environment probes. You can see them in action right there. Again, improvements to this whole, this VizJet is the back end thing they use for all their the graphic stuff here. So just cleaner ways of snapping things together. And then you can hold Alt right and mouse button down, dragging towards another node. So to use it, simply hover the mouse cursor near a node, hold the Alt key and right mouse button, and drag towards another node, and that will do lazy connections there. Also some improvements for just how nodes connect in general. Linear color space workflow improvements, new debugging tools, And that is the release. So that is Flax 1.12. Again, if you've never checked out this game engine, I highly recommend you do so. By the way, Flax Engine is, again, it's not open source. It's under its own proprietary license. It is source available like Unreal Engine is. So if you want to go ahead, check out the source code, it is available. Just be sure that you are aware it is not an open source game engine. There are some limitations. You can't just build your own version and use it without paying that 4% royalty after your $250,000 are made. Just something to be aware of. And then also that demo we saw based on Kenny's racing kit has been ported over. If you want to go ahead and check that out as a good starting point. This, they used it as their WebGPU example. So this one is all using C++ source code for the logic. Ignore the CS, those are just for build projects. So you see here, it's using C++ for all the various different game logic, etc. If you want to see how to build a game using Flax Engine in C++, one of the best options you've got out there is this modified version of Kenny's racing, which is also available. I will have that linked in the linked article down below. So ladies and gentlemen, that is Flax. The Flax Engine, available at flaxengine.com for pretty much every platform out there. Again, for being a small engine, it always staggers me what this thing is capable of and how in many ways it is as polished as it is. So if you've never checked out Flax, I highly recommend you do so. It is a very cool engine and it just keeps getting better. All right, let me know what you think. Comments down below. I'll talk to you all later. Goodbye.